Hey guys, this is Miles from Texan Gun Ops. Today we're going to be talking about helmet-mounted thermals, helmet-mounted night vision devices, and some of the capabilities and reasons why you'd want to go with a thermal over night vision. So, whether you're LARPing or you're a serious night hunter or you just want to own the night, I'm going to help you guys find a good setup for your needs. Let's get started. So, I've got this setup here. My big thing is versatility. I like products that are going to give me a number of applications for one device. So RH25 is probably one of the best and most useful devices that you can have in your hunting bag or your arsenal. If you're a two-legged critter hunter, these things are pretty fantastic. So this right here is kind of what I've seen a lot of people start running on the internet. It's a PVS 14 and a RH25. There are some really great things about this setup, but it 100%, in my opinion, I've used this thing for over 100 hours. It does not outweigh the cons. First things first. With any night vision device, with any kind of helmet mounted setup, you're going to need a counterweight. This whole setup right here without the G24 is going to be 35 ounces. You need 60% of that in the back to maintain a proper helmet balance, just like how I have here. I'm just holding it on my thumb. This is an extremely heavy and uncomfortable setup. The longest I've worn this for was 7 hours, and you know, the pads and the hard hat veteran helmets are pretty amazing, but just the weight and the compression on my neck, it's not enjoyable, and it's not something that I could see myself putting up with, you know, hunt after hunt, you know, hunting multiple times a week. Anyways, so a lot of times what you'll see is I'll be hunting like this. I'll have just the RH25, which is an extremely versatile device, and they really shine as a scanner. The last time I hunted this weapon mounted, I could see a rabbit at 250 yards, which is pretty impressive for such a small objective lens. But these sensors, man, these Iray sensors are hypersensitive. Sensor. So another thing running this setup, you have to buy a lot of extra pieces. So on the PVS 14, if you're going to use like the Axe 14 mount or a dovetail, typically there's a little threaded spot on the bottom. Yeah, I guess it would be technically the side of it. On the side of it where you thread in a bolt to mount it. If you were to run it like that, let me just show you, it's not going to work. But if you were to run it like that, your eyepieces would be at two completely different lengths. And so you'd have one farther away from your face than the other, and it's just, you're not going to get like a consistent picture. Now, once you buy this little, what is this called? Axe fill, or I'll put it in there somewhere. You can get them from China. That's where all these freaking mounts came from anyways. You have to go buy a special mount that basically sits the PVS 14 forward so that you can have the same eye relief on both devices, as you can see here. So with that, it is still very difficult to see through. My brain, and you might be different, but my brain cannot overlap the images properly. I don't know anybody who can, but I end up not being able to see. And this is gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna explain it to you in a sense that how it makes sense to me. Basically, if I'm walking with both tubes on, one thermal, one night vision, and I'm closed, I have to constantly go and switch eye to eye to eye. And if I stay on my thermal for so long, that screen will have this eye adjusted. And then I'll close that and I'll open this one and I'll be fucking blind. Even though the PVS 14 is on, I'll still be blind and I can't see. The only thing that I would say makes sense is if you're going to be driving around. Definitely have a night vision device, or just turn your headlights on. But if you don't want to do that, you want to be all tactical, you know, black ops, then definitely want to get some kind of night vision device. But I promise you, the weight, the constant flipping back and forth between the tubes, it's a headache. To the point to where I'm actually, this is like a perfect spec PVS 14 from Elbit. I'm selling it. It's just because I can't use it. The reason why I have two is because two is better than one. Also, it's just like running dual tubes if you've ever ran dual tube night vision, except both of these are thermal. So a lot of times, most of the time, I hunt with other people. And these other people don't have access to these kind of devices. So, I can actually take one of these RH25s, I can still have my scanner, not be completely useless. And I can take an AR that I have laying around, throw a can on it, and actually mount it in front of a 1-to-4. I turn this puppy on. You basically make sure this is all lined up. There's instructions on how to do it all, but I can run it in front of an AR-15 like this, shoot some 55 grain or some of that Fiocchi 40 grain VMAX, and just lay waste. This is a really good setup for your buddy, and then I can go and shoot, you know, my custom bolt gun, which is in pieces right now and needs to get put back together. Also, if I don't need a 6.5 Creedmoor and I'm hunting beavers or something over a pond, this is actually a really good setup, and I can just run scanner on my head, this right here, and I don't even need my bolt gun. These RH25s are extremely shock resistant. They are rated to up to 300 Win Mag recoil. And I know this seems like it doesn't line up, but it does in the scope. So basically 300 Win Mag recoil, that's extremely similar to 4570. So here is a pretty much the highest caliber underneath 300 Win Mag, or probably 300 WSM, for clipping on a thermal in front of your scope. This is a 1.5 to 6. It's a Nikon Monarch, just like a duplex reticle. It's all you really need, 100-yard gun. But if you want to go, I don't know, play cowboy, then you can run a RH25 on your 4570. All right, last but not least, I have an AR-10. This is a 6.5 Creedmoor. This scope right here, just to show you guys kind of the capabilities of it. This is not a proper tripod for this weapon. Anyways, so this is a 3-to-18 scope. It's the Meopta Optica 6, one of my favorite optics on the planet. The 3 power, the base 3 power, is still able to line up with the RH25, just like this. So super cool little setup here. I can shoot 6.5 Creedmoor, 223, 4570, 300 WSM, just about any hunting caliber that you have in your safe can handle this little device, which makes me a lot more confident running it on my helmet, bumping it around in the truck. I just know that it's not going to have any issues because it's rated for that shock. So with the 3 power and with setting it up like this, you do lose a little bit of that clarity because you have your 1 power screen. The clip-on screen for the thermal is a 1 power screen, and you're actually zooming in. It's like watching TV through binoculars. It's like zooming in on the actual screen, so the pixels will get bigger. You're going to lose some clarity. It's not as efficient as having an actual rifle scope, but if you need to make something work within 200 yards, this is a perfect setup for that. If you're a night hunter, I highly, highly recommend you look into getting a helmet-mounted thermal scanner. And your buddies will probably look at you and be like, oh, you think you're a freaking Navy SEAL or Delta operator or whatever, but your kills will go up by 50%. You're able to see literally everything. I hunt in some pretty thick areas right now, which is another reason why night vision doesn't make any sense to me. Is a lot of times I'm under pine trees, pine tree canopies, and you can kiss all ambient light goodbye because it's dark. It's dark under those trees. You can't see shit with the night vision, and you're actually better off just running a left eye thermal device and then letting your right eye adjust and to your natural night vision. You ever run around the woods as a kid? You know what I'm talking about. That is actually more effective, in my opinion, than having a blue, like a navy blue, grainy screen where you have shitty depth perception and you can't actually see what's going on around you. I walk trails through underneath pine trees and with a tripod on my shoulder, and I'm able to walk around, see where I'm putting my feet, and scan the inside of the tree lines. Just scan like this. And I'll be hunting with guys that'll have a PVS 14. I was hunting with a guy not too long ago, before deer season this year, and he was hunting with a PVS 14, and he was maneuvering around just fine, but so was I. And the thing that he couldn't do that I could do is look into the tree line and be like, hey man, you just missed some pigs. You just missed some of this. It gives you the advantage because it's just it's so bright. It's in your freaking face. It's these hypersensitive, Iray sensors are they do a fantastic job. The only reason I think you should be running night vision, and to be honest with you, I might just buy something like this and leave it in my car and just drive like this, and then throw it in the car and get out. With this, because this is far more effective than running night vision. But if you're a LARPer, I can't argue with you that having dual tubes is freaking awesome, because it is. Dual tubes are cool, but thermal is just a little bit more, it just makes more sense, man. Just makes more sense. Big thanks to Atlas Defense Solutions for helping us out with this video. I know I say their name a lot, but man, they're really helping people save money. The last guy that mentioned Texan Gun Ops saved $4,200 on his purchase. So I would I definitely give Atlas Defense Solutions a call. They're about to have the knock picks, the RH25 V2s, which are extremely cool because the onboard recording actually has audio and it has a much bigger screen, and the sensor is like twice as powerful. So you can see twice as far. It's really impressive stuff. It's really impressive technology. I'm very grateful that I've gotten this far in the gun rabbit hole of equipment. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's go over the helmet setup real quick. So this is the Hard Hat Veterans bump helmet. I don't care for ballistic helmet. I hunt with a couple guys that are police officers, and they run their bump helmets from work because it's free. Like, they got it issued to them. So it makes sense. I got one of these. They're a little bit cheaper on the price wise. They're extremely durable, especially if you get you can get like a cool little cover for it. I think I got this from like China or something. You got one of my patches from Service on there. These are Amazon G24, Amazon bridge, Amazon retention. So I have the bridge retained with the bungees, and then I have the G24 retained on top here with this little Velcro mount. I do keep, this is actually really important for you guys, I keep a microfiber cloth underneath my retention. A lot of times night hunting gets pretty serious in the summertime for me because nothing else is in season. So everybody's out, trying to shoot coyotes. It's extremely humid at night during the summertime in the southeast in Texas. So having a microfiber claw has been a lifesaver for me, especially when I used to run this PVS 14, because this thing would fog up like crazy. I could just pull it off of my helmet, wipe it down, throw it in my pocket, put it back on top. Super essential piece of equipment that a lot of people don't actually think of. So having a microfiber cloth, I highly recommend it, because if you can't see, you can't shoot, you can't LARP, you can't do all the fun things that you want to do with your life. So let me just kind of explain this to you. This is my my rear setup. This little strap here came from a trail camera. I basically bought this thing, and it came with these little strap loops that go under the bolts here. But it just kept getting loose. So, and I wanted to be able to make it modular, versatility, word of the day. So I cut the little straps off of this thing. This is also from Emerson. I think it's an airsoft piece of equipment, but it matched the cover, so I got it. Batteries for this and for the PVS 14. And that allows me to take this monstrosity of a counterweight. My total weight for the bridge I mentioned earlier is 35 ounces. The counterweight, 60% of that, this is damn near 21 ounces. It's pretty freaking heavy. You could hit someone over the head with it and you'd probably really mess them up. Anyways, what I did was I took an old cooking pan. I think I went to Walmart and bought a $2 pan. I took old duck weights, so weights that you tie to decoys. Matter of fact, here's a goose, and this is the lead weight here that I'm talking about. It's pretty much just any piece of lead that, it's not gonna affect your health or anything, but you just take a torch, you melt it down. Lead has a really low melting point, and you kind of form it into the pan. After it cools, which takes a minute, be careful, don't burn a hole in your carpet or set it on a wood table or anything. Let it cool on some granite, on the oven top, whatever. It'll become extremely malleable. So I was able to just take a flat piece of lead and form it to the back of my helmet. So it fits completely flat. It's not a big bulky counterweight like you see a lot of other people running. And I just wrapped it with adhesive Velcro. If I don't want to run duals, so if I don't want to run the RH25, the two RH25s, I'm going to clip this on to another gun. I can just take all this right here. There's Velcro here, Velcro here. I take this little guy, this little strap. There you go. I've got a perfectly balanced helmet without a counterweight now, just running a single RH25. So that's kind of the versatility of it. I've got it set up for multiple different scenarios, I guess is what you could say, multiple hunts. And see, as you can tell, I throw that other RH25 down, it sinks down. So I'd have to put the counterweight back on. I don't really hunt with the ear protection. They're not real Pelcors, so they don't sound great. They do protect your ears from, from that higher level decibel. You can't really hear how surgical and quiet you're being getting into a set to start calling for coyotes or sneaking up on something, sneaking up on a sounder. You can't really hear yourself, which I don't like. I don't have the best hearing. We all shoot suppressed, which is really great. So I don't technically need hearing protection to go hunting because I have my cans. It's kind of just there to hold the helmet to my head, or if I go, I still have friends that like tactical shooting and stuff like that. So like if I ever go to one of those, which is very rare, I have, you know, some hearing protection. These have like the comms on them. I've tried to hook them up to the Baofangs and a push to talk. Can't say it's really worth a damn. Regardless, let's talk about the interior. So there's a few things that I really like about this hard hat better helmet, and a lot of it has to do with the interior. They've got a dual pad system. A lot of helmets have dual pad system, but theirs is like, it's very comfortable. It's like this Tempur-Pedic kind of memory foam little pads that you can Velcro in on here. The strap is probably one of my favorite parts in whole. I'm going to show you why. So the strap is magnetic, and all you have to do is pull this little tab here. Got duals on, so it's pushing down on my forehead. All right, so the strap here is really cool. It's magnetic. So I don't know if you guys have ever tried to put a, it just clips on like that. And then when you want to take it off, you take it off. If you've ever tried to use one of those 3-prong clips when you can't see anything, this just kind of eliminates that and makes it like really simple, user-friendly. A lot of times I'll just run it, to be honest, like this without the strap on. It's balanced perfectly, exactly the way that it should be. I got one of these, they're called Theorem. I think it's Theorem or something. These little Theorem Picatinny rail things, they rotate. It goes on M-lock, it's pretty cool. This is just like an X300. It's pretty bright, runs out of battery extremely fast. I don't really like it that much, but I don't have like a spare flashlight running around, and it's a Surefire, so that's cool. That's pretty much the whole setup. That's kind of everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you want to go buy night vision and run the night vision thermal setup like so, good luck. That's all I'm going to say. I think you'll learn really fast how inefficient it is, and that you should just save up the extra money. But I mean, the PVS-14 is an incredible device. They've been around forever. Our military still uses them. We used them. You can get cool stuff like this for a GoPro, to where you can actually still look through the PVS-14 and then mount a GoPro on there and get some sick operator footage. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. Thank you for tuning in with us at Texan Gun Ops. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope that all this information is stuff that you guys can take with you and add to your hunting gear, something that you can add to your anti-Russian militia defense groups. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys would please like and subscribe.